breeze, but it's harder on the cold day. Cold day. Never been a product of a flawless environment.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back, and I will be introducing you all to a new segment on my channel called Steppin Into It. So basically in these segments we'll be having talks on different topics and areas of discussion as far as spirituality, girl talks and relationship and just different topics that people tend to avoid touching up on, or they don't touch up on enough, or things that are areas of concern for people, and just creating a comfortable space for everyone's insight, opinions, and just to clear things up for some people, for things that I may know that you may not know, or things that I don't know that you may know. And it's just an open space for any and everyone just to come in and just be comfortable within yourself, and just learning and expanding the things that you already know, and build on the things that you want to know, and just take something from each and every segment in order to better yourself and just be led on the correct path. So I hope you all enjoy this segment. I hope you all enjoy the first episode in this segment, and I hope to see you all in the future. Now let's go ahead and get into it. We'll get into the first question. What are some good Christian podcasts you watch or listen to? And in all honesty, I don't really listen to podcasts in the sense of like they're not really considered podcasts, if that makes sense. Like I'll listen to like YouTube videos, watch YouTube videos, or I'll listen to sermons, but there's not like, I don't have like the podcast app, or I forgot what it's called. I think it's Apple Podcast. I'm not sure, but I did have it at one point, but I don't have it anymore. So I don't really listen to podcasts, if I'm being honest, but I would love to get into podcasts and listening, because usually on my way to work, or just driving, or whenever I'm starting my day, I'll turn on a sermon, or I'll just turn on like a motivational video, or something related to spirituality. And I find that those are very helpful, and they bring so much insight into your life. But I don't have a particular person, or I don't have a particular channel that I prefer or listen to. It's just like whatever I come across mostly. But I can say one person who I do listen to, or I watch a lot on YouTube, is, I think her name is Deborah, but I can't remember exactly what her channel name is, but I'll put it like on the screen. But I listen to her a lot. I like her. There's another one. I think her name is like Melody. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it starts with M. Some of you already watch her. I'm not sure what her name is right now, but I'll put her on the screen as well. I'll just make a list. But those are like my main two, and I've been getting to like Crystal Renee. I don't know what you all would like classify her as, but I like some of her talks, like depending on who she's talking to and the topic that they're talking about. Like there was one really good episode that I ran across for her. I forgot what it's called. Keep it real. Is that what it's called? I forgot what it's called. But yeah, like I like those depending on the topic. So I'm not sure if those would be considered podcasts, but if that sums it up, let me know. But definitely comment some good podcasts down below that you guys think I'll be interested in, or that'll be good and influential, and that focus on spirituality, bettering yourself. I'm so into that. Definitely open to the idea. Question 2 says, what advice could you give the girls who are struggling with their walk with Christ? To put it in a nutshell, if I had to like put it in a nutshell, I would definitely just say, just walk. And that sounds so bland and just so basic, like girl, what? But I'm telling you, just walk. It's like, the Lord isn't asking you to be perfect, and he isn't asking you to do a certain thing. It's simple as just trust him and just keep doing what you're doing. But some things aren't what you're supposed to be doing, and some things, you know, are what you should be doing. And I feel as though as you keep walking and, you know, you keep reading your word, you keep praying, you keep building that life, you keep building that relationship, because it's not just a religion. It's not just, you know, something to do, something to spend time in, you know, something to be productive with. It's really sitting and building an intimate relationship with God. And like I'm saying, just walk, like just hold that faith, and, you know, just have that love for him, and, you know, open your heart to him, and just dwell in his word, and, you know, dwell in his presence, and, you know, just trust and believe. Like, there's really nothing you can do. Just open your heart and allow him to do the rest, is what I mean when I say just walk. You know, just trust him and allow him to guide you. Allow his guidance to act as a compass, and he'll open your eyes and he'll open your ears and tell you what to do and tell you how to move and show you how to be better. And, you know, he'll guide your decisions much better. They'll come with more clarity, and you won't hesitate, and it'll just be more peaceful and calming and more comforting and nurturing in a way when you just sit still and just allow him to work, if that makes sense to anyone. Hopefully that helped with that question, because I had to learn to just sit still. And question 3 is, what are some of the challenges you face while doing YouTube? Some challenges I face would definitely be like time management, and, you know, getting myself into the mindset of, you know, this is something that I get to do. This is something where I get to reach people on a different level, and, you know, on a different caliber, depending on, you know, what I do, what I say, what I put out into the world. And it can either help or it can either hurt. So, you know, that comes with its challenges, because it's like you know what you want to do deep down in your heart, or the Lord has given you something to do, but you're not sure how to go about it, or you're not sure what to do. And then, you know, managing the time with it, because I work a full-time job where I'm not really able to commit to a lot of things, because I'm so focused on work, and I'm so, you know, so in tune with this particular work life that I have. So it's difficult to get out of that cycle, and, you know, it's difficult to be productive instead of just resting, because I'm so physically exhausted from work. But it's definitely a mental thing, so it comes with its challenges when it comes to me, you know, making the best of my time and putting that effort into YouTube and making the content, and really being genuine with it, and really taking my time to be myself, and just not just feel like, okay, I'm doing YouTube, let me go conjure something up. No, like it really takes time for me to sit back and really plan out, you know, content and videos, and something like this video took a while for me to make, because it's something that I want to do genuinely, and it's not something that I just want to throw out there because, oh, I just want to do it, or I just want to draw an audience. But my whole thing is, I prefer the right audience than the wrong audience, and if that comes with losing and gaining at the same time, I'm completely fine with that. So it comes with these challenges, because learning how to navigate it, and learning how to manage my time well, and, you know, learning how to edit better, and really taking the time to perfect the craft and really invest into it, and, you know, really keep it interactive for people, and just be cautious of what I'm putting out into the world, and the way that I'm influencing others, or the way that I'm uplifting others, and the way that, you know, I'm giving myself grace while doing so, in the way that, you know, I'm not just overwhelming myself or overworking myself. So, you know, the balance in between it, and really just enjoying what I do, and not just thinking of the work aspect, you know, the handy work of it and everything. So just having fun with it, and being genuine, and just being cautious of what I'm doing and what I'm saying, while I do the things that I know I truly desire in my heart, in order to reach those who, you know, the Lord wants me to reach, or, you know, who really take heed to the things that I say, or, you know, really want to piggyback off things I do, or the things I piggyback off of other people. So that's really challenging for me, you know, just the cautious, the time management and everything. Like, the fourth question was, how has my upbringing affected my choices as an adult? Growing up, it was not, I was not given a silver spoon, like, point blank period. And you know, growing up made me realize that at some point, you know, you're gonna have to be responsible, and you're gonna have to take on those things in order, you're gonna have to take on certain things, and you're gonna have to make certain choices that can either make or break your life, that you're gonna have to go about things in a certain way that can either hurt you or better you as a person. And you know, growing up having people that I did not want to be like, or or seeing people make choices that I know that I didn't want to make because I know that they'll hurt me, or you know, a certain lifestyle that I wanted for myself, or you know, that I see for myself that I know that I truly deserve, you know, coming from where I come from. And it's just like, those have affected me because now I feel like it gave me the ambition, the drive, and you know, a bigger insight on what I really truly want. Like, it made me not have tunnel vision, but it made me focus on small details within my life where, you know, okay, how can I change this, or you know, how can I speak this way when it comes to this, or you know, how can I take heed in this moment, how can I learn from this person, or you know, what can I learn from this person, what not to do. Because life isn't always learning what to do, it's also learning about what not to do. And learning what not to do is a lot more, sometimes it's a lot more important than learning what to do. Because yeah, you know, learning what to do is very important, but learning what not to do, that'll really get you to the stage of knowing what to do. And it's just like, growing up, it's like, you know, you have role models, but I feel as though I never really had a role model. So I want to be the person that I wish that I had when I was younger. I want to be the type of role model where, you know, someone can see not and be like, don't be like me, be better than me. I always tell people that, like younger girls or whoever, you know, that see me and they're like, oh, you know, you know how little girls are, like, because we were little girls once. And it's just like, don't do exactly what I do, and don't make the mistakes that I've made. So, you know, growing up, it made me make choices where it just put me in situations to be better than what my environment set me up for, if that makes sense. You know, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want to be an evolution of it, in a sense. Like, I want to evolve. I want to show them that greatness does come from the dirt. Like, flowers grow from dirt, honey. Like, there, you know, there's good soil, there's bad soil. Allow me to be the one who is planted in good soil. Allow me to sprout good seed, and you know, that will produce amazing fruit. So yeah, you know, just growing up really just made me look at the things that I don't want in my life, and that has helped me so much establish things that I've accomplished so far, coming where I've come from and growing up how I grew up, and you know, given little to no resources and little to no knowledge nor guidance. And I just thank God for that, because my environment certainly could have taken me a whole different route. And you know, a lot of people see me now and they're like, oh, you know, looking back, I never thought that you would have made it how you made it, or you would have done what you've done. And respectfully, it's not by my will, it's all by the will of God, and I thank him every day for that. So growing up has definitely contributed to my choices in ways I can't imagine, and I'm very grateful for my past. Won't ever regret it, because everything that I've gone through has built me up to be the most strongest woman that I couldn't even imagine that I would have been in my life. And I'm very grateful for that, and I just pray that those choices and experiences just make me into a much stronger and better individual. Now, the last question, and the most in-depth question for me, would be, how have you grown in your faith and spirituality? Y'all, looking back then, and then looking at myself now, I've grown so much as a person, and I've grown. Sometimes I don't even recognize myself, or when certain things happen, I don't even know who's speaking or who's reacting in certain situations. Like, as far as my prayer life, like, I used to be like, I don't know how to pray. Like, I need somebody to pray for me. I'm not praying aloud. I'll just say it in my head, or I'll just, piggyback off somebody else, or I just let you do the do. Like, I don't know. But now it's like in my prayer life, like, I'm open with prayer. Like, I'll be like, to my friends, like, oh, I'll pray for you, or let's pray, or let's do this. And when you're really in tune and you really learn the Lord for yourself, you just learn that there's no such thing as perfection when it comes to the Lord. He just wants you. And I know y'all hear that a million times, but it's so true. And it's just like, you really learn as you go in this walk. Like, you don't have to be perfect in prayer. You don't have to quote every single scripture verbatim. You get what I'm saying? And it's amazing it's amazing, and it's definitely great to quote scripture when you pray, but that's something that you learn as you go, getting into the word. And that's something that I had to learn as well, because people feel as though, okay, I have to quote a scripture, let me go Google something, when he just wants you to pray genuinely from your heart and from your thoughts, from your feelings, and pour your emotions out to him, and really come to him with an open heart. And that's something that I had to learn and accept, that as I get into the word, I'll engrave those words into my heart, and it'll come more naturally, it'll come more easily, like, it'll flow easily, and I'll be more intentional in prayer. And I'll be more intentional in the way that I speak, the things that I ask of him, and the way that I thank him, and the way that I worship him, and the way that I really express myself to the Lord. And then like, there are certain things that are non-negotiable for me, that I used to do, that I'm just not having anymore, that I just refuse to engage in, or certain people I just refuse to be around, because you're so committed to that life, you're so conformed to the ways of the world, and that's not what I want. So it's like, if I have to let you go, I'm fine with that. If I have to walk away from you, I'm fine with that, in order to better myself and build my relationship with God. And if it threatens my relationship with the Lord, then baby, you gotta go. Like, it sounds simple, but it's definitely, it's an easy thing to do once you've really built that relationship with God. It's like being in a marriage and your significant other's like, that person has to go, and you're just like, okay, because your love for that person is so strong that you won't let anything come between it. Like, it literally says, two becomes one, so it's just like, knowing that, like, we're one in the same, we're two in one. It becomes easier. Like, I don't want anything to threaten my relationship with the Lord. If it comes in between it, like, I've definitely seen where I've stepped away from people, and it's like, I've ran back to God, and it's just like, I've been more in tune with the Lord. And when I'm by myself, I do better. Not necessarily saying, I'm gonna be alone forever, or I just have to be alone, I have to be isolated from the world, I have to be cut off from the world just to focus on God. That's not the way that I'm saying it. I'm saying it in the sense of, some people pull you away from him, and some people draw you closer. And me personally, I would rather those people that draw me closer to the Lord to be in my circle, to be around me, to comfort me and guide me, than those who are going to draw me, or have me backsliding and engaging in things that I shouldn't, or things that I know I'm higher than, or better than. And I feel as though that is a way that anybody should think. Like, you're better than your addiction, you're much better than partying, and abusing your body, and committing adultery against your own flesh and things like that. And something that I'm really trying to work on is, like, cursing, yeah, I got it bad. Especially in my work environment, I have it bad. I have it really bad. But I'm really trying, okay? And like, it's like certain things that trigger me. Like literally, when I'm by myself or when I'm in certain environments, I don't curse. Or when I'm around certain people, I don't curse. Like at all. Like if you really pay attention to my videos, like even unedited, I promise you, those clips, I don't curse. Like I probably had like a slip up like a few times and I can count on like one hand, but I don't curse. But that's something that I'm still working on. But I've definitely noticed it, and I'm definitely taking like, you know, notes, like, you know, mental notes of what triggers me and what doesn't. And I try to distance myself from those things, or you know, I try to control myself more when it's something that I really can't get away of it, get away from, especially when it pertains to work. So yeah, that's definitely an area that I'm still growing in. But you know, fornication and premarital sex and all of that is something that is definitely like been pondering, because that's not something I really care to engage in. Like I never have. Like I don't really care for sex or anything. Like, so it's easy for me to walk away, which may sound crazy, but it really is. But it's definitely something that I'm working towards. And anybody who doesn't respect that, you don't respect me. And seeing that you don't respect me, respectfully, you gotta go. Like it's just that simple. And I feel as though, you know, to me it's not a religion. Like, okay, I'm a Christian. No. Like to me it's a relationship. Like you have to be very intimate with the Lord. You have to come to him and really be able to speak to him and vent to him, and you know, really get nitty gritty and into it with him, and you know, just have him there to comfort you and nurture you. It's really a committed relationship. I'm giving you my heart. I'm vulnerable to you. You know, I'm putting myself on this. I'm at your throne, okay? I am at your throne right now on my knees. And when you get to the point where I've grown in the sense of when I'm isolated, I don't feel alone. Because I know that if I'm isolated, the Lord's pulling me to a place where he's drawing out all the loud noises. He's drawing out the unnecessary conversations, the unnecessary commentary, you know, everything that's getting in the way of me hearing him, all the extra voices, you know, the circular music and this and that, and you know, the unnecessary noise that's trying to cancel him out, you know, the works of the enemy. And he doesn't want you to hear the Lord clearly. So when I'm alone, I don't feel lonely, because I know that I need to go into the word. I need to sit here. I need to pray a little more. I need to fast, you know. And fasting was something I used to have a problem with, because it's just like I used to always think of it in the aspect of, okay girl, you don't need to fast because you already like you're already like $1.50, like not $1.50, but like $1, literally, and then like barely $1.50 soaking wet. So I used to look at it in the aspect of, okay, I don't need to fast because I don't weigh that much. Two, like it might cause like health issues. I used to look at it like that instead of looking at it in the spiritual aspect of, okay, it's bringing me closer to God. I'm literally starving my flesh in order to feed my spirit, and I didn't look at it like that before. But now when I look at fasting, it's like, okay, I need to feed my spirit in this moment. Like my flesh, you've been fed enough. You need to sit here and you really need to feed your spirit, so that way the Lord can feed into you. And I just look at it in a very different light now. And when I pray now, I don't pray to petition, like for the sole purpose of petitioning and asking the Lord for things. I pray in the sense of really thanking him genuinely for the things that have remained in my life, not the things that he's taken, for the things that he's blessed me with, and not the things that, you know, that I've been cursed with, quote unquote, or the things that I'm going through. Like, not to ask the Lord, oh, why this and why that, in the sense of, you know, nagging or complaining, but in the sense of I'm trying to gain clarity, like, okay, Lord, in this moment, what are you trying to teach me? Not why are you doing this to me? Like, I've grown in my perspective of my life and why things are happening. What's the reason behind it? Like, my way of thinking has evolved spiritually, and I want so much more for myself that I'm coming to God first. Like, okay, Lord, allow your will to be done. If it's in alignment, and if it's in alignment for my life, as far as your plan for my life, then I'm here for it. I'm all for it. I want whatever you want from me. If you're not in it, I'm not in it. Like, there's really no other way around it. And I would definitely say in spiritual and faith, I've grown a lot. Like, in my faith, when things happen now, I don't react the same. Like, I don't have a whole mental breakdown. I'm not crying, I'm not screaming, I'm not angry, I'm not yelling. Like, I just have faith that the Lord will see me through it. He brought me to it, he's seeing me through it. He's already written it. All I have to do is sit back. All I have to do is walk. Because I know that as I'm walking, he'll lead me. You know, I'm coming out the fire unscorched. I'm coming out, you know, I'm not burnt, I'm not bruised, I'm not hurt. All I am is stronger. Like, girl on fire. I'm literally walking over that fire. You get what I'm saying? It's like he's not, the Lord isn't bringing me over it. He's not bringing me around it. He's not taking me out of it. He's literally sending me through it for a reason. Just to show me and build that faith and build that hope that he has. And it's just like, trust him. He's building that trust. He's building that relationship, because when you're in relationship with someone, there has to be something built. You get what I'm saying? Like, there has to be trust that's gained. Trust isn't just given, it's gained, it's worked towards. That's something that you really sit there and you put time into, you put effort into. And I feel like when your faith is in it, when your heart is in it, it's like it's worth working for. It's worth trusting. And my faith has definitely grown, because it's just like when things happen, the Lord has definitely showed me that I'm gonna pull you out of this. I got this. I'm gonna do this for you. And things have been, you know, out of my control, to the point where it's like I don't have no choice but to surrender it to God. I've seen that man do the impossible. That man has said, baby, tell that mountain to move, it's gonna move. And best believe that faith of a mustard seed has moved mountains that I thought would tremble upon me. And it's just like, that faith that I have in him, in my situations and everything, knowing that the Lord has me, has brought me so far. And I've definitely grown as a person. Like, I'm not a hothead anymore. I don't care to clear my name. I don't care. I do not care, because I know that the Lord's at the forefront and he's fighting for me. Like, point blank period. I don't have to do anything. I really don't. I don't have to do anything but trust God. And once you learn that and you get to that point, things become so much easier. They become so much lightweight. It's not a burden. It's truly not. And, you know, that's all I have to say on that matter, because there's so much for me to learn, so many areas for me to grow in. But I hope that you all take something from this and, you know, really work towards it yourself. You know, learn the word for yourself. Learn how to be comfortable in your spirituality and not just your shell, not just your flesh. Don't allow your flesh to be in control of where your spirit should be. Don't allow your flesh to take place of your spirit. You know, to overpower that spirit, that discernment, you know, that hope, that faith. And, you know, just allow your spirit to gain control again, and really trust in God, and trust not in your circumstances. And just don't run to the world, run to God, and just commune with him and get into covenant with him, and just truly give your heart over, as long as that is what you desire, and that is what you feel as though he's pulling you to, and that he's telling you to seek, and just to find him, and you have that yearning for him. And, you know, it's just not going away, but do it the way that you feel is fit for you, and just walk. Like I said before, just walk. and he'll definitely see you through. Definitely, 100%.
Another pretty little scheme. Save her mind.